piece of a very bullish news arrived on the marketplace yesterday, but the market is still scared. Do you know what does it mean? I will tell you exactly what does it mean, where to capitalize heavily, and where is the opportunity right now. At the end of the day, there is a reason I logged $250,000 more of big time in the last 24 hours. Andy on Blast won Blast Gold jackpot yesterday. I made $50,000 just by holding a meme coin. Pacman, the founder of Blast, also followed Andy on Blast on Twitter. It seems like a Brad playbook is playing out, dot to dot. You want to figure out how you can make money just by holding Andy as well? You want to find out how to capitalize on this marketplace, where is the opportunity and where are we going next? Watch this video till the end. Let's start. Let's actually start with Andy. This is the official Twitter page of Andy on Blast. We can see that Pacman actually just followed Andy on Blast from his account. I think it happened yesterday. Do you understand how actually bullish this is? How much conviction it actually adds to the meme coin in the first place? How much credibility it actually adds to the project in the first place? This is Brad playbook exactly playing out, with Jesse Pollock supporting Brad, following it on Twitter, showing it in promotions on Coinbase. This is exactly the same situation. We are on the direction to actually becoming the mascot of Blast, of the chain in the first place, following the crazy narrative of Pacman, with the founder understanding meme coin game. They definitely get their statistics, they definitely understand what is happening. They definitely see that volumes that are coming into the chain, they are because of meme coins as well. They are working on enablement of meme season because memes are actually the cheapest marketing channel to attract users on chain. GM, Blast fleet base in user fees for the last 24 hours, bullish ahead of TG. Do you understand what is happening? Why it is so significant? Because if we would be talking about any other chain, yeah, it's fine. Like fees, all right, the founder of the chains, they will be just making money. No. In Blast, 100% of fees are actually getting distributed back to the developers. Currently, Blast is the largest fees generating Ethereum layer 2 in the world, which would push most of the projects in crypto to merge to this chain. Do you want to give your transaction fees to the founders of the chain for some reason? Or you want actually to collect them as revenue, being able to build it, to use it into marketing, to actually pay your team members? This is just so crazy, and you can put them in your treasuries even, and you can get 4% yield if you hold Ethereum, if you want to have upside of Ethereum going up, or 5% yield if you hold stable coins. This is so crazy in the first place. And the thing is that the thesis is heavily slept on. What I am doing currently is pretty much educating you on the ecosystem and the things that are happening here. And I have a very good example. I will explain how the ecosystem looks so you will understand it even better. The only viable business model in crypto that actually works is exchange, because exchange is making money on the commissions. This is the only model that works at this stage in the whole crypto industry. All these chains, Ethereum, Solana, you can think of them as an exchange of some sort, because the main thing for them is to generate fees from transactions. This is the source for them to actually make money in the first place. Why things that are happening on Blast are actually so significant is because we have two native revenue generating sources right there, which are 100% of transaction fees is coming back to the developers who are developing decentralized applications on the chain, and secondly, 4% yield for the Ethereum that people just hold on chain, and 5% for stable coins that people just hold on chain. They don't have to do anything for it. They can just you basically just put your Ethereum from Ethereum network to Blast network, and you're receiving 4% yield right away. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to sign any messages. You don't have to lock your Ethereum up in any protocol. You can instantly use it. You can instantly even withdraw it to other chains. You are just getting 4% yield by default. This is how the chain is set up in the first place. Why this is bullish? Let me actually provide you this on the example of exchange. Let's imagine we have exchange, right? BitGet, Binance, you can think of the exchange you actually like. The main source of revenue is actually fees. You're opening longs, you're opening shorts, you're paying commission fees. At the same time, when you're actually buying spot or selling spot, you actually also have commission fees. And not a lot of people understand this, but percentage-wise, your commission fees on spot, they're actually larger than commission fees when leverage trading, percentage-wise. Blast is an exchange that is sharing its commission fees with you, with a participant of the network. On top of it, if you are, let's imagine, if you're developing something on BitGet, for example, you develop some type of bot right there, right? Or you develop some applications that actually pushed people to trade more, you will be receiving transaction fees from these people back to yourself. And on top of it, for all the funds that you're holding on this type of exchange, you will be receiving 4% yield for Ethereum and 5% yield for stable coins. And you don't have to do anything. You just have several $100,000 on your exchange and you're receiving yield without the need to sign some type of message or lock up your Ethereum in some type of scammy pool, right? This is the ecosystem that democratized these things. It pretty much democratizes yield and democratizes commissions from transaction fees, which allows for more volume on chain, for people to actively participate in different activities on chain, which in turn creates even more volume. And you might have a question, but how Blast as a company is making money? They are redistributing most of the transaction fees back to the participants of the network, whether these are developers or users, because users are receiving them later in the form of incentives for being active. This is your gold farming, this is your points farming in the ecosystem, right? And since you have more volume, your amount of revenue that you actually generate from all these transactions will be way larger than on other networks. Therefore, you can actually take smaller percentage by yourself and you will still be generating way more revenue, way more money than your competition. On top of it, you can actually just hold it on chain to receive native yield. This is a genius business model. They are sharing things on the chain. This is so big. For the developers, for the users, for the whales to just hold the assets there. This is the ecosystem that incentivizes everyone around it. Imagine this type of exchange. And on top of it, it has loyalty program that if you are loyal, if you are active, if you're trading, you can win money. I just won $50,000 yesterday just for holding my ND on Blast. Imagine this happening on any other chain. This is heavily slept on, but this is the time when you act. This is the time when you are positioning yourself, when everyone else is just sleeping around you. This thing will be acquiring half of total value locked of Ethereum by the end of this cycle. This is my prediction. Let's actually circle back and discuss what happened yesterday. Yesterday we had this crazy red candle from 0.36 back to 0.2. There were two reasons this happened in the first place. First of all, we had a crazy market dump. I got liquidated out of $100,000. A lot of people got liquidated of much more money as well. We had this crazy market manipulation in the first place. Secondly, Andy on Blast actually won Blast jackpot. And people who are just farming these jackpots, they decided to sell. But it's very, very interesting in the first place because other memes on Blast, like Pacman and Pew, they actually won jackpots 3 times. And the percentage of the pool of the jackpot that Andy just won is very, very low. It's only 7% in the first place. Therefore, I do expect for us to actually continue winning moving forward. An interesting thing is that this jackpots lottery, it does not end at 26th of June. In 7 days from now, when we will have the airdrop, it will continue till the second airdrop. And Blast will continue having these airdrops. And the main reason for them is because how the chain is actually set up in the first place, how smart this is. Everything risk-free, everything based on risk-free US yield rate. It's not a Ponzi in the first place. It's just democratization. They're just sharing more than greedy founders. This is Robinhood-like fucking ecosystem. Why Robinhood fucked the market in the first place? Because they removed fees, because they put fees on the market makers, not on the users. This is exactly the same fucking thing. Watch what happened with Robinhood, how it took industry, how it overtaken the industry, and watch what will be happening with Blast, and what Pacman already did with Blur. Like, it's just, I'm just throwing this to you. So crazy. So what happened? We pretty much had this sell-off. First probably was people who were farming for jackpot, then we had a market crash, then we had some JIT sellers who were pretty much scared and things like that. What is with you now, JITs? You were selling here, right? You were selling this week down, you were thinking we're probably going down. What is with you now? We are back at the support levels of our range. We are at 0.28 and 28 million market cap at this stage. And don't let the market cap fool you. We have 1.4 million in liquidity at this stage. This is larger than most memes that are being screamed by your scam influencers currently on Twitter. This is larger. Focus on liquidity, because liquidity shows how much conviction people actually have in holding their money in this thing. So what happened? We had this week down. We broke through our initial range. We broke through our second range. And we had extreme strong movement from there. This thing was just bought up heavily. And right now we are back into this range. And interesting thing is that in this range, what you have to understand, we already broke through it. We're using it as a support currently. So what I would expect is for us to trade for some time inside this range. At the same time, we only have 7 days till the airdrop. And as mentioned, most explosive movements should be happening closer to the date of the airdrop, based off FOMO caused by people who faded this thing in the first place. Market does not understand this thing. They are fading as fuck. They don't understand what will be happening. Me making $50,000 yesterday just by holding the Memecoin. Did you hear this type of stories anywhere? It's not just because we'll have one airdrop. It will continue happen because this is the fucking way the chain is set up. Because you, for being active on chain, doing things on chain, you get incentivized. Because these guys are sharing, because they don't care about short-term pump and dump. They're caring about fucking overtaking the industry. And they've done this with NFTs already. How can you not see this? It's so fucking obvious in the first place. So what I would expect from us is to trade in this range, most likely with the upward projection. Then we would be back at this resistance. Why we do have this resistance here? Because you can see that this is a huge liquidity level. We had a bunch of trading right here, and we even caught a bit of liquidity right here. And we already have a bunch of liquidity right here. So a bunch of people were selling and buying here. This is a strong liquidity level. That's why we're essentially in the range right here, right? And I would expect us to break through this resistance sooner or later. We might get rejected as the same thing, because here initially we got rejected heavily. We pretty much were sent back to the bottom of the range right away, right here. And because of the Blast airdrop, and because of the Blast jackpot, and because of the market conditions, we get sent back even to the support of the previous range, where we also have a bunch of liquidity, right? But eventually we should be breaking up. We should be breaking up, maybe not like this, we should be breaking up like right this, testing back, turning our resistance into support, and then surging up. An interesting thing is that, what do we have here? Here we almost have no resistance. It was a very, very quick move up and down. No trading was done right here. Therefore, here when we should be surging up, we should have close to zero resistance. We are currently at the main resistance level at this stage. And once we are back at all-time high, and you have to understand that once we are breaking through this all-time high right here, this is price discovery. No resistance here. This is just zero resistance here. We'll just be going up, because it would mean that every person who ever bought Andy on Blast is in profits. We might get like a certain rejection from previous all-time high, because there might be some people selling into this thing because they are in pain, they're holding this thing for so much time. I doubt that, because I don't think we actually had a lot of people buying out here. Maybe, like worst case scenario, what I would expect is for us to get a rejection from here, trend back up. Maybe what I would expect, worst case scenario, is for us to get a rejection from here, back into the range, consolidate for some time in the uptrend, try to break this as a resistance again, get rejected, break, get down, use as support, and price discovery right after that. This is what I am actually expecting. And you cannot understand like how bullish the current price action is, because the market is going to shit. People are scared, and we will move into the next topic of this video like right now. Why I am so fucking bullish, and why I am telling you that the market is scared shitless currently. A Memecoin is already back into the range at 28 million market cap, and we will just safely be trending moving forward. And once people will understand that you can actually be winning jackpots, winning money just by holding these things in the first place. This is so crazy. I made $50,000 fucking dollars just by holding this thing. And it won jackpot only once. Only once at this stage. It should be winning jackpots moving forward, because Pacman won jackpots, because other memes on chain actually won jackpots 3 times. Moving further into the current market situation. This is the developer behind Bobba. Just see how fucking smart he is in the first place. Definitely shows experience on the marketplace. He was sharing this at the peak FUD yesterday. Random bullish news article incoming after BlackRock buys your coins. 3, 2, 1. Ethereum survives the SEC. Today, we are happy to announce a major win for Ethereum developers, technology providers, and industry participants. The enforcement division of the SEC has notified us that it is closing its investigation into Ethereum 2.0. This means that the SEC will not bring charges alleging that sales of Ethereum are securities transactions. They don't fucking understand how they rigged this space in the first place is actually. They push some news. They made you too long. They dumped the market themselves. There's 0 reasons for the market to actually be dumping. They tried to come up with the reasons and things like that. They just dumped the market because they wanted to liquidate longs, because a lot of people were sitting in longs. Right now, people started to flip shorts, started to short the market. Like I'm watching some videos, some people are saying like $44,000, we might go into 30s. We will go into 30s in 2019, and I might be expecting a movement like that for $30,000 for Bitcoin. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you even broadcasting any type of thought into this market? Just sit in your apartment ashamed. It's just so fucking crazy. Everyone is bullish, everyone is crying, and I will explain why this is so fucking bullish. Is because in the first place, this piece of news actually came out. What do we see on the chart? The chart is not fucking moving because people are afraid, because people don't want to do anything. People, listen to these words, listen to this phrase, highest piece of alpha. People are waiting for the price to convince them. One more time, people are waiting for price to convince them. But this is not how the fuck you're making it on the market. You're not waiting for the price to convince you. I do believe we actually reversed. And why I think that we reversed is because this piece of bullish news is doing nothing to the market. People are scared shitless. They're not buying back in. Or maybe they left. It is just so crazy to see things like this happening. Right now, we have a bit of time of accumulation. When people are scared shitlessly, this type of bullish news is coming out. We have Ethereum ETF launch in 2 weeks. We have stock market at all-time highs. And people are not buying. They're waiting for the fucking price to convince them. Let me be your convincer. You know what? It would be way better if I will give you conviction instead of price giving you conviction. Because if you will be waiting till price will be giving you fucking conviction, you will be underperforming heavily in this market. You will not be making money, which will result in you holding for too much, because people who were not scared shitless, they were able to enter sooner. They are content, they are all right with the profits already, so they're taking the profits out, and you are left back holding. After yesterday's video, I actually saw that I did not enter big time loan with 20k margin. I only entered it with 5k margin. And yesterday evening, I had these interesting thoughts. I was thinking like, well, maybe I should just wait for tomorrow and wait, essentially enter right after it, right? And then I killed this bitch inside me. I grabbed myself by the balls and I added $15,000 of margin into this loan right now. We have $96,000 per position in big time, and I'm up $6,000 from yesterday. From killing a bitch in myself, I'm up $6,000. And what's more important, because It does not matter like how much money you have currently. It matters the amount of tokens, the amount of good tokens that you actually hold of good projects with a lot of upside, and what is your liquidation points. And what is your liquidation point? This is what matters. And because I was able to enter yesterday, my liquidation point is lower right here. And today, for some reason, I actually woke up at 3 a.m. And I don't believe in random things, right? It's quite funny because I woke up exactly at the time that this piece of news was published. I just opened up Twitter right away and I saw that like consensus is saying that SEC lifted away all the accusations from Ethereum 2.0 and it's not a security, it's a commodity, right? So what I did, actually, I entered additional loan with $39,000 in margin, 5x. My position size is $168,000. I added like around 7k to margin to decrease my liquidation point. My liquidation point is 0.0956. Can we go there? Of course we can. No one the fuck knows what will be happening, right? I just want to play this market. I just want to play this thing till I win. And I think I have a high fucking chance on winning currently. With all the things that I'm seeing. With these type of events, fucking bullish events, actually not getting any type of response from the marketplace in the first place. And to sum up the whole thing, I want to provide you with a bit of alpha on altcoins. What type of alts to buy? Because I do believe right now is a generational entry opportunity for your altcoins. Max loan, you need to buy. Afraid of going with high leverage, go with conservative leverage, but max loan currently this market. So many people are calling for lower, so many people are calling that we will be going down. No one the fuck knows what are they talking about. Did they tell you? Did they actually predict to you right last 3 short-term movements of this market? Do you see a cock in my mouth? You don't see it, which means I was not sucking off anyone, which means that no one the fuck predicted last 3 short-term movements of this fucking market right. Speaking of altcoins, what you have to understand is that people are pussies, right? And right now we're in a risk-on environment, a bunch of people got liquidated, a bunch of people left the market, so altcoins that essentially are being viewed as these safe picks in the first place, they should be appreciated in value first, because once you would start surging up, once you would be in this crazy upward movement, right? We have to understand that first things that will start to move, they will be safe things, maybe with some proper teams behind them, maybe with doxed people behind them. And because people are pussies, they will be buying into these assets first, heavily underperforming in the process, because in the first place they will be using price to actually convince them. And secondly, they will be buying into assets that have less risks, right? And in order to have profits, to make profits, you actually have to undertake risks. The less risks you are taking, the less fucking profits you actually making. It does not only work like in trading, investing, it works in business. I was doing shit in business that my employees, they were just looking like this, like what the fuck are you doing? I would never do it. I was doing these things. Outcome of them was not that bad. So what? This is the decision I made. This was working with me before. Why the fuck it will not work moving forward? My risk reward is still better. This is the type of place that you should be taking always from your end. So large caps probably will start to move first. Take a look on alts that have like these proper narratives, like proper people behind them. They generally don't dump much the recent dips, right? These are your alts that you would want to actually be buying into first, right? Most likely things like Sui, Stacks, Arbitrum, all these like large layer ones. Yes, they have high FDV, but they are the fucking bottom right now at this stage. And moving forward, you have to understand that the more people will be making money, the more trust they will be gaining in this space, the more newbies will be receiving into this space as well. The longer on the risk curve will actually be moving on. And interesting type of thing that like how am I investing myself, what I'm often doing. I am buying the asset way long on the risk curve right away, like right now. And I'm just waiting, sitting in my asset. Yes, it's hard. Yes, you need to actually sit through and sometimes see other things pumping. But This is the only way to receive most of the liquidity into the asset and capitalize the most on these specific assets. If you're lucky with your rotations, you'll probably be able to make more money in the first place, right? But this is just kind of a safe way in the first place. You just buy a risk asset in risk-off environment. This is something that we're kind of doing with overall with crypto market, like currently, because people in the world, they're scared, they're buying stocks, they think crypto is a scam, but we have crazy rates currently. Once money will become cheap, once you'll be receiving rate cuts, environment will become risk on, and people will be buying into risky assets. They will be buying into crypto. And this is exactly the strategy that we're using ourselves currently, being in the market, positioning ourselves in the market. Because you have to understand that if you're in the crypto assets that will be surviving, we will be winning over time. So how I won $50,000 yesterday? Just by holding ND on Blast. What you have to do is go on blast.io website and you have to go into the airdrop. Right here you need to go to gold jackpot, and here you will have an option to connect your wallet. Let me show you on a fresh wallet. So let me show you how does this work. I will leave a link for you where you would be able to add your ND to the jackpot deck to actually have an option to win jackpot moving forward. You are following this link, you're prompted to connect wallet. You click MetaMask and you have this referral code. It's already integrated and implemented right away. If you would be doing it differently, you still will need a referral code. I will leave my referral code just in case in the pinned message, so you would be able to do it yourself. You sign the message, and right now you're in the interface of the airdrop. What you need to do is you need to go into the gold jackpot, scroll down, and click add token or NFT to deck, and you would be able to add your ND on Blast tokens. And once ND will be winning jackpot, you will be winning some gold as well. I won 5,500 Blast gold yesterday, and the price for gold estimated to be at around from $5 to $10 at the day of TG, right? So these are from $25,000 to $50,000 just for me holding a meme token on chain. And ND on Blast just won its first ever airdrop, and ND on Blast just won its first ever Blast gold jackpot. And other memes, they have won it 3 times. So we have quite a nice chance winning it moving forward as well. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow.